It's the Search Engine Journal Show with the founder of Search Engine Journal himself, Loren Baker. And here's your host. It's the Search.
Whoops. Whoa. Hey, we're live and I'm tinkering with StreamYard at the same time. Hi, everybody. This is Loren Baker, founder of Search Engine Journal. And with me, I have Mr. Fabrice. Is it Canel?
Canel, yes.
Wow, look at that. First try. How's it going?
Great. You?
Excellent. Thank you. Excellent. Fabrice, what is your position with Bing?
So I'm a 23 years search veteran at Microsoft. I'm a principal program manager managing the web data platform, the platform that is discovering internet content, selecting the best content on the internet, fetching it, processing it. And I also oversee the Webmaster Tool, Bing Webmaster Tool.
Excellent, excellent. I'm a big fan of Bing Webmaster Tools. I know we've been talking a little bit. I've been sending you over some ideas and things like that. Hopefully, I haven't been bothering you too much with those, but I'm very excited about Bing Webmaster Tools for a couple of reasons. One is, I believe, and you can correct me if I'm wrong here, does DuckDuckGo utilize Bing Webmaster Tools to index and identify new sites, new pages?
Yeah, Bing is powering a lot of solutions across the internet. So this is from Yahoo to AOL to Verizon to DuckDuckGo to Ecosia and so on. Yes, so there is a lot of solutions in place to at the end satisfy the customer around on a broad range of solutions.
Excellent, excellent. So we have a range of solutions that are dependent, either powered by or dependent upon one component of Bing or another. DuckDuckGo, AOL, Verizon, et cetera, et cetera. And then the second thing that I'm excited about Bing Webmaster Tools is I feel like it's my own little secret. I feel like a lot of the internet, especially SEOs, only focus on one company's set of Webmaster Tools. And they tend to overlook and forget about a very large percent of search traffic, and search traffic that is sometimes much more targeted. And at least in my case, the clients that I work with, their traffic that they get from Bing, Yahoo, and then now DuckDuckGo convert at a higher basis, especially direct consumer clients and B2C clients on that front. I feel that I even launched a poll on Twitter this morning. Hey, SEOs, do you actively manage Bing Webmaster Tools? 41% said no. 22% said of course. And then 36% said every once in a while. So we have 60% of SEOs are involved with Bing Master Tools in one degree or another, and almost 40% are not. Why do you think that is? And do you think that 40% are losing an opportunity by not utilizing Bing Webmaster Tools?
Yeah, this is Pepsi versus Coca-Cola. This is the same story. They say you have a dominant player in the market, and you have a second player that is people may not be aware, they may not think about it, they may not see, they may not be aware of the value proposition of Bing Webmaster Tool. So I'm pleased during this talk to tell you more about Bing Webmaster Tool. It's a free offering, so it's free to try to collect data for your sites. You will see that we offer also more than Bing data. So I think it's useful to go to Webmaster Tool to learn about your site and optimize not only for Bing, but also for other search engines, because we are providing data that is kind of for all search engines.
Absolutely, absolutely. So another thing I also like a little bit more about Bing Webmaster Tools is that I can submit, it makes it very easy to submit or recommend pages to be recrawled or reindexed, right? I believe we can copy and paste a list of those in Bing Webmaster Tools. Whereas with Google Search Console, it can take 10 minutes for one URL to at least be put into the priority queue to be recrawled. So how exactly does that work on Bing Webmaster Tools? What are some advantages of utilizing the opportunity to submit or request new crawls?
So I can speak for hours about that. I love it. This is really a key feature of Bing Webmaster Tool. At the end is you know your sites more than me. I simply don't know when you will post content on your site. My team has no clue. They may be expert in machine learning stack and doing a lot of things. No, at the end, you know when you publish content on your sites. So we support really the ability within Big Webmaster Tool to submit URL. You go to the web form and you submit URL. But better than that, this is we support the ability to integrate via APIs. API, this is when you integrate with your content management solution. And bingo, each time you have added, updated, or deleted URL on your site, this URL is submitted to Bing. And thank you, we are learning about, hey, there is a change on your site. And basically, we are sending the crawler to detect the new content. And if we judge that this is good quality content, we will immediately index it.
So as a webmaster, or I guess as an SEO, I can either ping Bing right directly through Webmaster Tools by copying and pasting those URLs that have updated content on. Therefore, you're identifying them instantly and recalling them. Or the CMS solution I may utilize has that. Almost like Pingdom used to work, or the old pinging.
Ping. Just tell us. Ping, Bing. This is let's ping Bing. So it's really key, I think, at the end to help us and to discover your content, because by discovering your content change, we avoid calling you as much as we should do to discover if your content has changed. If you tell us, hey, I've changed my content, thank you. This is good information, and we go to fetch it. We don't have to pull and monitor again and again and again to see if the content has changed. So this is helping us to reduce global warming. Why pinging and pinging and pinging to detect if the content has changed, if you tell us that the content has changed. Excellent. And not only we support, so if you need some technical skill, the bar to adopt the API is really low. We make it as easy as we can to adopt this API. You need just an API key from Big Webmaster Tool, but it's really 3 lines of code in general that you need to put in your content management system to adopt it. And we make it even easier for people on WordPress. We have a WordPress plugin. This is no technical skill required. You just go to WordPress, search for Big Webmaster Tool plugin, install the plugin. It's just mouse click, and in 5 minutes you integrate and get this flow of data coming to Bing. And again, thank you. We get all this URL notified about added, updated, and deleted content. I feel it's important at the end. You can sleep better by having this integration done. If you publish something, okay, why having a nightmare about, hey, maybe the search engine will not index this content? No, this is, you own the destiny. You own the content, and boom, we have nothing. We are pleased to get your content, to get the latest version of the content index quickly.
I like the ability to take a proactive approach to this, right? So I'm not waiting for crawl. I'm the index and recrawl, the recrawl and reindexing of a page's content doesn't sound like it would be as dependent on like crawl budget or the ability for the bot to continuously find. By being proactive, we can alert Bing, we can ping Bing, and I just dropped a link to the Bing WordPress plugin right here in the results. So if you are using WordPress, you might want to check this out. I'm not sure if we're using it at SEJ. We probably should. So I'll hit up Loren to integrate that a little bit later today. Okay, what makes Bing special?
So you want Bing first. You don't want one solution to search the internet. So what makes Bing special is a search engine that is not only there to satisfy the customer. If you don't satisfy the customer at the end of the day, there is no search engine. Because if you search and cannot find the content, okay, there is no search engine. What is really special is a search engine that is giving back. So this is ability not only to give back to you via Bing reward program, where you can get some money, some deals, gift card, and stuff like that by searching on Bing. This is also even more important. This is to give back to the community. So we have more than 1.5 million companies, non-profit things that are organizations across the world, and you can really link your search activities and give back money to them. And so this is useful for them. Obviously, they get a little bit of money from every search you do. And if you sum all the money done by the billion of search that is done every month on Bing, then this is obviously translating to a lot of money for some of the organization. So we encourage you to add the Bing reward program to signing. And again, you can directly link and give money back from your activities to this organization across the world.
It's really interesting. It's almost like a Honey or Rakuten approach, but instead of it being a percentage of what I'm buying, it's a percentage of what I'm clicking, and then I can use those to make those donations. That's super cool.
Yeah, and it's a lot of money for them or for you. Again, you can select to give. We obviously encourage you to give to this organization across the world that are in need of money, dollar.
And one thing we were talking about earlier and then before the show was typically I do see that Bing's audience converts at a higher rate than Google's. Sometimes has an average order value that's higher than Google's. I've always believed that Bing and Yahoo users may be a little bit older than Google users. I'm not sure how exact that is. But maybe could you go into maybe why you feel that Bing's audience is a little bit more targeted from a traffic perspective or sales perspective than Google audience maybe?
Yeah, so we did obviously a lot of study to understand your audience and to satisfy your audience. At the end, obviously, this is not only to satisfy your audience, this is to satisfy all audiences possible, the ones that are not on Bing, to understand why they are not on Bing and convince them to use Bing. But I think Bing has started from MSN search. Initially, this was MSN portal and MSN search page. And so clearly there is a specific user going to MSN initially to find this content, and we developed this, we kept this audience and developed this audience, and we have added audiences to that. So yes, there is certainly some differences versus Google audience, but maybe people at Yahoo and elsewhere judge that Bing was a relevant search engine, useful for their audience, and use Bing. So at the end we have a lot of customers using Bing in terms of end customer, but also companies across the world. I spoke about Ecosia, Yahoo, and others. And yes, maybe these audiences are different than the one using Google.
Gotcha. That does make things interesting as well. And then at Bing, you rolled out Site Explorer last year, I believe, right? Is that the internal tool within Bing?
Site Explorer is it's my favorite tool with this URL submission API. This is clearly coming from an internal tool we have to understand each and every site on the internet. So I really encourage you. This is the ability to SEO explore your site. In a click, you can visit your site in a way that I think your Explorer, your content management system cannot offer. The default is we sort folders and URLs within each folder per click. How many clicks are clicked by your customer on these folders and files. So typically of your content management system, you will see the sorting done by alphabetic order. And so it's not so useful as per clicks, but we offer also sorting by impression, that is telling you where this content is impressed at Bing or Yahoo, and not necessarily click. So at the end, it's a way to explore your site as super large scale. When I say site, it's your whole domain. So we support, let's say, from Facebook to your small personal website, and we design it to make it lightning fast. So this means that you can browse each and every folder in a question of seconds, which is super challenging technically. But yeah, we landed that very well. And so you can click very, very large folders or root of the domains with thousands of subdirectory and browse and browse and browse. So lightning fast, ability to understand what Bing is indexing, and you can review versus what you have on the site, detect URLs that you should add a canonical tag, let's say, or so, and so on, to optimize your website.
Got you. And one thing I've enjoyed about Site Explorer, and you had mentioned this for a moment, is that it's very good at identifying subdomains, right?
Yeah.
And the pages or folders underneath subdomains, which from my experience in SEO, one of the biggest surprises that we typically see pop up is that there are legacy subdomains that a site may have, right?
Yeah.
So whether that I mean, I'm looking at a client right now, and unfortunately I can't share it because it is a client, but I'm looking at a CRM subdomain. I'm looking at a customer service and a Zendesk subdomain that's an account that's not used anymore. I'm looking at an affiliate subdomain that I know is not used anymore, right?
Yeah.
So there's different subdomain tools out there, but at least this way, we can get the subdomains directly from the engine that you're picking up on a crawl, right?
Because we just follow links. Yeah.
If you're
we just follow links and discover all kind of things. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you're following links to discover these subdomains, it's an issue at the end of the day. If these subdomains are not meant to be indexed, maybe they're not used anymore. Maybe someone was using a third-party tool where they shut down the tool, but they left the subdomain up. So there's like a landing page or a 404 page or a click to go to the new page-oriented page. And that's been really useful from a cleanup perspective. Another aspect of being Webmaster Tools that I think makes you all a little bit more different than Google is, and then for those, one of the biggest questions that we get at Search Engine Journal is, hey, what are the best free tools out there? Well, at Bing, you have an SEO report, crawler, keyword research, and site scan component as well. Would you mind going into how that works a little bit and the thought process behind offering an SEO tool in the Bing backend?
Yeah, so at the end is helping a customer this is tools, this is data that we have internally. So why not exposing it to customer, to webmaster, to have them optimizing their sites and fixing their issues. Typical of issues is that we are seeing is, okay, you are crawling my site too often. You are crawling my site not enough. You are following why, are you annexing these links and so on. This is kind of support as webmaster asking us about why are we doing these things. And we just say, okay, because that's it. This is the data we see from your sites. And this is, please help us to clean up. We cannot be super smart at handling each and every craziness things that is happening on each and every site. We need to tell the data. We need to tell the story to help them annexing their sites. So we offer, everything is free. We offer free tools in order that people can review their sites and optimize it to satisfy their customer through Bing. And this is used. We spoke about the APIs to submit content. We spoke about the Explorer to explore the sites. We offer backlinks, including for each and every site on the internet, where you can see your backlinks and other sites' backlinks. So you can go and navigate and see the sites to understand, okay, why maybe are you ranking at Bing this way versus others that are ranking the other way. Links matter, a lot of other things matter, but links matter, so please visit to see who is linking to who. And yes, we offer then SiteScan, that is an SEO Explorer, that is at the end helping search engine, webmaster to find what's wrong on their sites and discover issues and try to fix them. Often we do nothing really specific for Bing. Search engine that this is Google and Bing and others speak behind the scene in order to come up with things that make sense. Mean that we have kind of the same, at the end, same SEO guidelines in terms of, let's say, title tag, H1, all the meta tags that we should do on the internet. There is really nothing that is really Google specific or Bing specific these days.
One thing I want to bring up too is that for those of you that get a fairly high percentage of traffic from Bing, like I said, most of my clients were anywhere between 10 and 30%, right? Is that if you're actively using the Google disavow file, that helps Google, but it doesn't help Bing. So Bing has their own disavow tool that's within Bing Webmaster Tools, where instead of uploading a text file and adding to that text file and uploading it on an ongoing basis, You can manually submit within the backend, copy and paste one URL per line. You can select the page, the directory, or the domain. And I feel that is very helpful and should be a good reminder, because if something if backlinks, whether it was negative SEO or just backlinks that someone did back in the day that don't have much value or questionable, if by disavowing them in Google it's helping you, you should also go to Bing Webmaster Tools, make sure you're registered for your domain, which is really simple, and then you can disavow those in Bing as well, right? And it literally is, you can just copy all the URLs, paste it, hit the button, and it's done, right? So it's a very simple format for the ability to do that. Cool. So you have keyword research components within Bing Webmaster Tools. You can see the keywords that you're ranking for, along with suggestions to your site, which is kind of nice.
Yeah, keyword is, we offer also the ability to see keyword, not only global keywords that is based on the query traffic at Bing, but also you can see the filter by country and languages, and mobile and desktop. So this is something that is also unique, where we provide this information about who is searching from where, because again, these pages may be querying differently in different languages. Sometimes you may have surprise because your keyword may be, let's say, relevant in some languages, but the content may not match what you intended. Some words are the same in different languages, but the meaning is different. So this is, we found thing like that. So at the end is, play with the data, look at per languages information. Maybe this is relevant for some of your sites that are more international focus. And so, interesting data to look at.
Very cool. Very nice. Another reminder and another aspect I like about Bing Webmaster Tools is the ability to add URLs to block, right? So in Google, you have the ability to do so as well with the URL removal tool. Temporary removal. I believe in Bing it's temporary as well, right? Up to 90 days, something like that.
Yeah, we do that, and this is temporary, and also we limit the ability to do that because we see people doing mistakes. There is a well-famous mistakes done at Google last year from some Microsoft company that I don't remember which company this was. But at the end, this is let's avoid. We try to help webmaster to avoid doing mistakes. If you remove your whole domain because you did a bad copy paste, you should not do this. So in this case, please contact support, and support is reactive and will review with you. Maybe there is maybe you need to remove a whole domain, but we are pleased to engage with you to review if this is if you should do that.
Yeah, I don't think we'll get into the other Microsoft company that removed themselves from Google, but I'll talk to Perna about that next time. Okay, good. So point being is, again, if you're disavowing in Google and you're removing or trying to remove URLs within Google, you should also look into your ability to do so within Bing Webmaster Tools. One question I have for you, Fabrice, is that DuckDuckGo utilizes Bing to identify new URLs and new crawls and things like that, right? So does DuckDuckGo also honor the disavow within Bing Webmaster Tools? Yeah,
so just on disavow, for Bing, I've got even a better solution than removing content via the blog tool. Just, again, integrate via the API. This content will be gone. We will delete this content through the API. Integration of URL submission API. This is not only for added content, this is also for updated content and for deleted content. So if you remove content from your website, you can also ping us via the API, and then this is removing the dead links. Dead links is not useful for your site. People are upset by clicking and finding the dead links. They think it's a search engine problem, but often it's also a website problem, not notifying search engine about the content that is removed. So again, we try the API to make things easier for webmasters to completely automate. Yes, you can do action, but if this is completely integrated through the content management system, then you can do, I cannot do keywords for you. You have to write the contents, all these things, you have to do it. But API integration, this is a done deal. to answer your question about DuckDuckGo, so DuckDuckGo cover a broad range of system. They are integrated with a broad range of system, including Bing. And so, yes, if you remove the content from Bing, you will have this will be gone from DuckDuckGo.
Okay, excellent. So if you remove it from Bing,
if this is coming from Bing. If you have content that is coming from another data source, then
like
no,
the index or something.
But,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. So again, Bing is not just Bing in Yahoo, but just as a reminder for all you listeners that are excited about DuckDuckGo and a new engine being on the market, DuckDuckGo uses Bing for URL and site discovery, as well as Bing Webmaster Tool backend for management as well. So very cool. What's on the horizon for Bing? Is there any? Oh, first of all, I have a question. This WordPress plugin that you talk about, is there also a Shopify plugin?
Not yet.
Not yet.
So
Okay.
Not yet. We are thinking about it and working on it maybe. But we offer this WordPress plugin as an open source solution. So you can look at the source, look how we have done it. And so if your Shopify is listening or others are listening or you are your own specific content management system, feel free to leverage our open source because it's really open. If you have any legal problem, contact me and we will please to give you a write of the code and things like that. Because at the end, it's really we are helping the whole industry to move away from this crawl. Crawl is kind of last century things. It's a little bit dumb to say, hey, did you change? Hey, did you change? Hey, did you change? No, just tell us if you have changed. It's way better for the global warming stuff. So, and for search engine and for you. So at the end is integration via API is the way to go, and we are moving there. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look into that on the Shopify thing. That's ecom. I would believe may have a lot of new URLs being taken down, product URLs changing, things.
Price change,
exactly.
Price change, yes.
Exactly.
And you should notify us only on meaningful content change. On January 1st, you may change the copyright here at the bottom of the page. We don't care about that, please. We see the spike every year of, okay, who cares?
That's funny. Yes. All right, cool. So is there anything new on the horizon with Bing or Bing Webmaster Tools that you'd like to talk about today?
Yeah, we are deeply involved in continue to integrate it into more solutions. So again, there is Bing Webmaster Tool and the APIs. And this API integration, we are really pushing it via different dimensions, that this is content management system as WordPress, but also, let's say, top sites or every sites that want to adopt. So you will see a lot more communication from us. This is kind of phases. Now we have really a lot of top sites that are adopting. We spoke about, we disclosed that eBay has adopted that, LinkedIn has adopted that, but there is hundreds of thousands of sites that have adopted this solution, this API solution. So we start to be really, really large scale, and we are really confident on it. And so now this is the phase 2 of really driving adoption worldwide. To get more sites adopting, and again to please everybody, because this is all good. This is you are telling us if the content has changed, we are removing global warming by crawling less often, all good stuff. So this is point number 1 is really this API things. Second is that we have still more offering coming through Bing Webmaster Tool. But I cannot really completely disclose that, but you will see new things coming up. What we absolutely want to avoid is what's happened with Bing Webmaster Tool in the past. It was a galaxy of 57 tools. This was completely built for geeks, for, you have to go there, click there, click there. No, we try to be more unified, the story, into, at the end, information per URL and information per sites. This is kind of a 2-dimension. You want to know what is happening on this URL now. You want to see what you have to do on this URL, or you want to know at site level, let's say dead links, and how to optimize what is the prioritized list of sites, of issues on your site. So the story is that via AI, via data mining, via machine learning, we can really try to figure it out. What are the top 5 things to fix on the site? Again, maybe you have 1 dead links, but if you have 1 dead links on a 1 million site size, doesn't matter. This is just 1 dead link. So this is this kind of understanding of the whole picture and prioritizing what need to be done, we are working on it to make it easier for Webmaster to fix the top 3, top 5 things that you should really focus on.
Excellent. One question I get a lot is, should companies build sites specifically for Bing versus Google? Is there much of a difference between overall SEO needs at the end of the day between the two properties? If I'm optimized for Google, am I already optimized for Bing, or should I go in and really dig into Bing Webmaster Tools and do a better job?
So my answer, don't think search engine, think your customer. Try to satisfy your end customer. Bing is not a customer. Bing is a marketing destination, and you will get customer through Bing. So focus on satisfying your customer, and that's it. And yes, you have to do some work for search engine, some optimization work for search engine. But at the end, is focus on satisfying your customer, and they will be satisfied through Bing or Google. We are collaborating with Google on a range of topics. Sitemaps is an example of things that we do jointly with Google. We collaborate also on robots text file. We collaborate on all kind of things that is SEO. And I said a few minutes ago, H1 tags, all these guidelines are kind of the same. We don't want to come up, and they don't want to come up with something that is really crazy about, the H1 tag should be 255 characters, and that's it. They are not there. We are speaking, and so we are obviously try to have a common view on the SEO problems that customers are facing.
That's amazing. So focus on the customer, not the engine, but make sure you're taking advantage of the tool sets the engine has, right? And a lot of the basics are going to be shared between all of the engines. But again, just to reiterate some of the points from today, if you're not in Bing Webmaster Tools already, make sure you're in Bing Webmaster Tools. It's very simple to set up. There's a Google Search Console app that's within Bing, import within Bing Webmaster Tools. So if you're already set up and verified within Google Search Console, you can just go to Bing Webmaster Tools, import from there, and you're set up instantly. It's pretty fantastic. If you're not there, go there now. You can utilize the internal tools within Bing to better optimize your site experience for Bing. Like I said, if you have disavowed because of some very toxic inbound links or something like that on the Google side, you may also want to do that on the Bing side. If there's parts of your site that you should not be in the index and you're waiting for developers to actually take those down or whatever, you can suggest that to Bing in the same way that you would suggest to Google to get out of the index. And then also, if you are a WordPress publisher, at the end of the day, check out the WordPress plugin that we dropped into the comments, so you can actually ping Bing when you either publish new content or when you delete an older page as well. So you're being proactive. You're telling the Bing search engine that, hey, this is new content. You should crawl, update it in the index, and then it's done, as opposed to waiting for it. Fabrice, where can we find you online? And where can viewers and listeners follow up if they have any questions on Bing?
So Twitter/Facon and FACAN and LinkedIn. You can find me on LinkedIn and Twitter. This is my 2 social endpoint.
Cool. I'm gonna drop your Twitter ID in the feed as well, so everyone can follow you. And thank you so much for making the time on this Friday to jump on the Search Engine Journal show. It's been great. If we have any questions that come through afterwards, I'll be sure to follow up with you on that front. I'll be talking to you probably within Twitter DMs and things like that as I test out Bing a little bit. And anything that you guys launch, be sure to let us know. We'll go ahead and cover it as well.
We will let you know. Thank you, Loren. Thank you, Search Engine Journal. And please use Bing. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us this week on the Search Engine Journal Show. If you like this episode, subscribe to our channel and click on the notification bell so you don't miss a thing.